As Pullman sees an uptick in new coronavirus cases, authorities are cracking down on people who are ignoring the mandates there for COVID-19. We'll tell you how many tickets they've issued so far.
We make or break our whole season on October.
And growers on Green Bluff optimistic as fall approaches. They want visitors to know they are open for business.
A cooler start to the work week, but I'm tracking much hotter temperatures in your extended forecast next.
Welcome, everyone. It's good to have you here tonight. I'm Whitney Ward.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Mark Hanrahan. As the city of Pullman deals with an uptick in coronavirus cases tied to young people, the city's police chief is taking action. The department now issuing tickets for people who are violating coronavirus mandates, namely having large gatherings. KREM 2's Taylor Vito has more now.
As Washington State University students have come flooding back to Pullman, some locals are worried. The city's police chief didn't mince words when describing how some feel.
That they're frustrated, they're scared to go out in public.
Whitman County has seen surging coronavirus cases in recent weeks, and Pullman police say that's in part tied to parties since Wazoo students have moved back. Officers were originally erring on the side of warnings and education for those violating COVID-19 guidelines, but recent case numbers changed that.
We knew we needed to take a different approach to have an impact.
People who host parties of 10 or more people are being fined $250. That's happened 8 times in the last week. The largest party officers busted had over 40 people.
A few of the instances when the officers approached, a lot of the people in the group left in different directions, giving us an indication that they knew what they were doing was wrong.
While the police department is putting their money where their mouth is, WSU itself has upped its game. Last Friday, the school launched a campaign dubbed Cougs Cancel COVID. It's complete with catchy signs around campus saying things like quarantine and chill. The campaign push features an online element too. In a statement, WSU has said that simply handing down sanctions to those who don't follow health guidelines isn't enough, and school leaders have partnered with landlords and local businesses to spread the Cougs Cancel COVID campaign around Pullman. Police say they appreciate the school's efforts.
Even though this is all happening off campus, it's WSU students. And so they recognize the need for us really to work together on this.
The tickets handed out by Pullman police are infractions, but if someone were to be ticketed for a third time, the crime would then turn into a misdemeanor. Taylor Vito, KREM 2 News.
Well, here at KREM, we are committed to bringing you the latest back-to-school information and helping you sort it out so you know what to expect. Happening right now, the long-term planning committee for the Coeur d'Alene Public School District is actually holding a virtual meeting as they discuss back-to-school plans. So far we know they have continued to discuss their long-range facilities plan, which includes building a new middle school, and that's because all 3 middle schools in the district are now at or over capacity. They've also addressed deferred maintenance, which is now backlogged to at least $17 million this year. According to the superintendent, enrollment right now is down by about 800 students. He attributes that to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic and the ongoing discussion of whether masks will be required in school. The board still needs to discuss district child care.
New tonight, the Spokane County Prosecutor's Office determined that a Kalispell tribal police officer was justified in shooting a man believed to have stolen from Northern Quest Casino back on June 22nd. Kalispell tribal officer Dan Dice shot Zachary Craig while trying to contact Craig, who was accused of cashing out slot machines that people had left money in. The incident escalated when investigators say Craig tried to run over multiple officers with his car. After Officer Dice asked Craig to stop several times, prosecutors say he raised his weapon and fired a single round at Craig. No charges will be filed against the officer. All right, let's switch gears, talk weather, shall we? We've had kind of a cooler few days here in the Northwest, but summer not over just yet. We could hit 90s for Labor Day weekend. Let's get to Chief Meteorologist Tom Sherry. Tom, I can't remember a Labor Day in the past where we hit 90 degrees.
Yeah, I need to look that up. Normally it's mild. Our average high is 79. So typically we see Labor Day weekends in the low 80s, maybe mid to upper 70s, and we get a little rain sometimes on Labor Day weekend. But that's not the case this week. This is the cool day. Enjoy it, as well as that that little bit of overnight rain that we had. 73 degrees right now under partly cloudy skies. Wind is out of the west-northwest at 12 miles per hour. Our air quality is good. Let's enjoy that. And when you look at the satellite and radar picture, we've got high pressure across the Pacific Northwest, so that will lead to really warm weather starting tomorrow. Tuesday's high will be 85. We'll see an overnight low tonight of 57. Looking ahead to the Labor Day weekend, traditionally what we call the end of summer, 91 degrees on Saturday and 87 on Sunday. Last blast of some summer weather. We'll talk more about that with your 10-day forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Very much looking forward to it, Tom. Thank you. Well, we have officially reached the end of August, which of course means that fall is right around the corner. And with new coronavirus restrictions in place across the state, it means the busiest season up at Green Bluff will certainly look a little different coming up here. But tonight, KREM 2's Amanda Rowley explains how growers are promising it will still have all of your fall favorites.
Green Bluff growers told me last week how they would be adjusting this fall with Governor Inslee's new guidelines for agritourism. But that list of prohibited activities changed just a couple days ago. And so we're back here in Green Bluff today, and growers are saying it's going to be pretty much business as usual. Has a lot to offer year-round. Peaches, apples, beer, and pie. You could argue the fall season is the busiest time, and Green Bluff growers say it's business they depend on.
We make or break our whole season on October. So, we go into debt and then, hopefully get out of debt in October.
Agritourism is big on what we are and who we are at Green Bluff.
Governor Inslee's office initially issued guidelines prohibiting quite a few agritourism activities you typically would enjoy in the fall. But Green Bluff growers wanted to be clear, fall is not canceled.
There was kind of an uproar of everyone and thinking that maybe Green Bluff was closed. And it's actually the opposite. Green Bluff's going to be able to stay open.
Last week, the governor updated that list and decided to now allow animal viewing, hay, wagon, and train rides, as well as children's play equipment and bonfires. Walter's Fruit Ranch reacted to this update today.
Earlier, we were doing everything bobbing and weaving to make sure we could stay open, and now it's going to be a lot easier for us here. I mean, we almost every single thing that we do is approved. The only one thing is they say you can only view the animals, you can't actually, touch them. That's the only thing that we kind of lost here at Walter's Fruit Ranch.
Todd Beck at Beck's Harvest House is excited that it will mostly be business as usual this year.
So we will have our corn maze. We have cut it a little differently and made wider rows so you can social distance inside.
Pumpkin picking and navigating corn mazes may be slightly different this year, but these farmers are grateful they can keep their gates open and their guests safe.
Big relief, that we didn't get shut down. Now we have a way forward, and it's not going to be easy, but we're gonna make it work, and we hope that Spokane comes out to support us.
Over at Beck's Harvest House, Todd Beck told me that he sees these guidelines as a positive, and that's because by allowing growers to remain open and allowing them to do so many of these fall activities this year, he sees that as the governor recognizing how important agritourism is. Reporting in Green Bluff, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
It's very, very good news, especially for all those lovers of those pumpkin donuts. All right, the city of Spokane looking for a new flag, and you could have a say in what it looks like. The city's flag commission will start accepting design submissions starting tomorrow. The last day to enter will be October 1st. So there are a few requirements for the design submissions. That means it must be exclusive. There can be no text or gradient colors on the flag, and it needs to include important colors and symbols to Spokane, its citizens, and Indigenous peoples. Each person can submit up to 3 design ideas for the new city flag. All right, we have some good news to share. As part of our Tools to Schools program, a local high school has just received a bunch of supplies for its students. Lumen High School in downtown Spokane is opening its doors this year. It's a public charter school to help young parents finish high school while also helping provide daycare and other needed resources to them. This school this year is slated to start with about 45 students. And today, GISA Credit Union helped provide each student with some traditional supplies so they can start school with everything they need. So the school is hoping to start in-person instruction later this fall. We just want to say a huge thank you to GISA Credit Union as well as our partners at Communities in Schools for making that big delivery today and making sure kids have all that they need to begin school. We very much look forward to making more donations throughout the next several weeks to help all kids and families during this incredibly challenging time. You can also donate to Tools to Schools. All you have to do is text the word TOOLS to 509-448-2000.